Well, I took my first balloon ride in 1983 after buying a home, and that was in Mesa, Arizona. Liked it so much, I knew I had to make a career out of it, so it wasn't too much longer after that I got on a crew, which meant that I helped inflate the balloon and chase it and pack it up. And the person that I was crewing with, Ted Hunsaker, taught me to fly and hired me to fly, and my love of the job basically meant that by 1986 I was doing it full time.
Ted, at the time, was Bob's realtor, and as his housewarming gift, he took Bob and his wife Yvonne up for their first balloon ride. Later, Ted became Bob's teacher and taught him how to fly hot air balloons. He also helped Bob set up his own repair shop.
Actually, I've been ballooning for closely to 30 years. It got me interested. My father-in-law bought a hot air balloon for advertising, and nobody in the family wanted to fly it except for me. So I've been flying ever since.
Ted and Bob have become partners and flew together on many occasions. In recent years, Ted has flown for Bob as a pilot of the KNIX Courtesy Chevrolet balloon and the Little Bees balloons, although that job has been taken over by another local pilot.
Well, we started back in 1976, and actually my uncle started back in 1974. He was a fixed-wing pilot, so was my father. They traded a plane for a balloon, and ballooning history went from there. I'd say about a quarter of the pilots today in Phoenix, Arizona were trained one way or the other by my father or friends of his.
It seems that flying is the most important part of ballooning. It is in fact the behind-the-scene work of maintenance and repair. Without it, the heat and stress of constant flying would cause the eventual deterioration of the fabric and render the entire aircraft unairworthy. In 1992, Bob opened up one of the first repair stations in the valley and has now grown into one of the most used and only repair shops in the region. Balloonists from New Mexico, Nevada, Utah, and California now make regular visits to have their balloons repaired. He has even opened up a small repair station in Everett, Washington, to service the ride business up north.
Balloons are aircraft just like airplanes and helicopters. They're under separate ratings through the FAA. So the FAA safeguards the public by making sure that all aircraft, including balloons, undergo routine maintenance and inspections. And so what my job as a repairman is to perform yearly inspections or inspections after 100 hours.
Many local balloonists are now good friends with Bob and usually help out with the servicing of their balloons. Inspections are usually performed on or near the date that the balloon was finished. This is usually called an annual. This allows pilots to schedule their annuals ahead of time unless they need an urgent repair. Good friends like Dwayne Osborne have been able to trade work on his balloon for work on Bob's electrical and lighting in his shop and home. Kind of like you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours.
Maintenance-wise, I'm flying an older balloon, so I watch it a lot for damage and stuff, because my life depends on the thing being in good shape and maintained. So just making sure we don't screw it up. Yeah, safety is always the biggest concern. Somebody can step on the fabric and tear a hole while you're inflating, and if you don't notice it, you can be flying around with a damaged envelope. So you always have to be aware of safety and where you're going to land and where you're going to take off, and all of the power line issues that can be involved with those. So there's always safety is always in the mind somewhere.
To be certified as a balloon repairman, Bob had to fly back to Ann Arbor, Michigan for training at the Cameron Balloons factory. He then had to take an FAA test to get full certification and must have annual inspections to make sure his facility is up to code. These close connections with the factory and FAA helped Bob become the successful pilot and repairman that he is. Bob is now a dealer for Cameron Balloons, and he has helped the FAA in many court cases as an expert witness. Because Shane runs a ride business, he visits the shop regularly to make sure his balloons are airworthy and able to carry passengers.
Maintenance is without a doubt life or death. This is all FAA certified. Everything's regulated by the FAA. Once a year, you've got to bring it in. Once a year or every 100 hours, whichever may come first, you've got to bring it in for a inspection by an FAA certified repair station. Without those inspections, you know, this would not be a safe sport. And without good repair, it would be dangerous. As far as repair stations, I pretty much use them all on occasion. There's one particular repair station that I use the most. There's a number of reasons why. To start, though, when I first started using this repair station, I actually was impressed with the simple fact that my balloons got repaired rather than replaced.
Arizona hot air repair is gained respect among the pilots.
I've been going to the repair station I go to for 15 years, 12 years, however long I've had this particular balloon. So that'd be since '95, 12 years.
This feeling is mutual with many.
Well, I get my balloons done at Arizona Hot Air Repair, and Bob's been not only a maintenance guy, but a very experienced pilot. We've been flying together pretty much. I met him maybe second or third year I got into the sport, and like I said, going to another pilot that flies them, you know, they have a well-rounded wealth of knowledge. Some people just fix them and don't really have a pilot's license, and you know, I kind of want the opinion of someone else who puts their life on the line and puts their, you know, their trust in the balloon and goes up in it. It's kind of like, you know, having somebody build you a race car and going, geez, I don't know how that sucker's going to turn, but go ahead out and go for it. You know, so at least another pilot that's got his repair license kind of has a better understanding of what you're looking at. So.
Ballooning is an amazing and wonderful sport, but due to the recent restrictions and zoning laws, it is a dying art in Arizona. Many pilots are moving out of state or retiring altogether. Gas and propane prices are on the rise, and traditional sport pilots just can't afford to fly anymore. The economic crisis in America has also a detrimental effect on the ride business because people can't afford to pay the $165 to $200 price tag for balloon rides. To top it off, many corporate balloons like the Wendy's balloon are being shelved as companies cut their contracts.